3, 2, 1. Lose yourself in the moment.
Mom's spaghetti.
Today we're going to be checking out Eminem. So I thought we'd bring my mom, Eminem's #1 fan over here.
My name's Ellen.
And I didn't know that. Wow.
Well, I don't think your audience wants to refer to me as mom, so it might be good to put a name to the face.
Fair. This might be my mom's favorite rapper, specifically for 2 words in his entire discography, which is Mom Spaghetti.
That's so not true.
That is true. We're going to check out Eminem on the Jonathan Ross Show. So we're going to watch the interview, give you our thoughts. This will be fun.
Yeah? Way to go.
Let's check it out.
4 years, 5 years since the last album, and now you've got the new one, Relapse, coming out, but it's been a long period. This was a deliberate step away from things, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to pull back from the spotlight for a little while, you know, just, I guess, kind of reassess my whole career, you know what I mean? I ended up in rehab in 2005, wanted to, like I was trying to figure out where I was going. You know what I mean? Like where I was going in my personal life and career-wise and everything. Like,
you know, you gotta give this man respect, because to openly come out and say, you know, I was in rehab in 2005 and thought I would take some time to myself, right away speaks to his sensibility.
Yeah.
You know, is able to look deeper inside and say, you know what, I really, you know, I'm not in a good place and I need to take a moment rather than pushing through and maybe, you know, just spiraling out of control. So I think that was a really good move, and I have a lot of respect for someone who can openly admit they have a problem and working through it.
And when it comes to communication, you know, I talk about this a lot. When people feel connected to someone, especially like Eminem, when we feel connected to people, it's usually through when they share their struggles, their weaknesses, their challenges.
Right.
You know, we might respect people for their wins and their strengths.
Right.
And
But it makes
skills.
them real when they talk about their vulnerabilities. I mean, you know, you're not going to maybe open up your heart entirely, but to just show that you're human.
Right. And I think that's part of why people resonate with Eminem's
music.
A lot of he's raw.
Yeah.
And although can be quite gory and vulgar, he's unfiltered, it seems like, and
that's what I like about him.
Yeah, people can connect with that. You know,
or truth. I think it's truth.
Yeah,
being you know, himself and authentic and not trying to, you know, put up any smoke and mirrors like this is it. This is me.
I don't know. I kind of took the producer's role even more so, and you know, stepped away from the mic. Even though, I mean, I was still writing, I was still making songs, but it just wasn't. I wasn't making anything that I felt like was good enough to put out at that time. You know what I mean?
So, and then what happened? It just clicked.
So he's got high standards for himself. That's what I'm sort of getting from that. You know, like I'm not putting anything out that I don't feel amazing about.
Right. You know what? I could put it out and people will probably buy it and it's probably going to make some money for me. But if I'm not happy with it, then it's not worth it.
Right.
He doesn't need to do that.
It's funny because I wouldn't think that he'd be this open. I don't know. For some reason, I thought he'd come off as like a little bit more closed off and someone who likes to keep their cards a little closer to their chest.
Yeah, well, you know, knowing and seeing him perform on stage, I thought he'd have more of an attitude, you know, just sort of more of a tough guy, you know, like attitude. But I find him to be very gentle almost.
Okay.
Well, I got sober first of all, you know what I mean? So I had to...
How tricky was that for you? Was that a difficult journey? Was that a tough thing to do?
Yeah, definitely. There were a couple of years that were pretty bad for me. But, you know, I'm a little over a year sober now, so I'm
congratulations.
happy to...
Okay,
Do you think that was an emotional reaction there? Just like looking at his body language? Do you think that was lips?
I think it's more like maybe the uncomfortable of people applauding the fact that he's sober.
You think it's patronizing almost?
I think so.
Yeah,
like, you know, that's how I feel. Like, I don't think he's emotional because he's sober for like good for me. I don't think he's that type of guy. I just think it was a reaction to the
It's true. It's true. It's just like, because he probably feels like, listen.
I don't think it's his first rodeo, you know, like in rehab. So, I mean, you know, like I think he's been around the block.
I also don't think he's the type of guy that's necessarily comfortable with getting praise.
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't seem like that type
yeah,
of guy.
like I think if he had the chance, he said, you know, please don't clap. Like, it's not necessary. I mean, a lot of people have been sober for 20 years. They should be getting They should be getting the applause, not me.
Performing that was in 8 Mile. Lose Yourself.
Yeah.
That's got some of the best lyrics. Just such an incredible captures the kind of the fear of performing and the need to perform and the desire to perform. I just thought that was a remarkable piece of work. If you weren't doing, if you weren't writing rap, were you writing beforehand? Was it rap?
He's got an intensity about him too. Just when he listens, look at his eye contact.
Yeah, he's listening. He's listening.
He's very present. Like he's sharp.
definitely.
Like, he's the type of guy who has like a high bullshit detector. I feel like, you know, he's calling bullshit on people. Like, he's looking at you, he's reading you.
Right.
He kind of smells inauthentic.
He's watching this guy's body language. Like,
Yes.
I don't know if
Yes.
he loves this interviewer, to be
No.
perfectly honest. I don't know if he trusts him.
Maybe.
I don't know if there's a
Yeah.
comfort between the
Yeah.
rapport.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm sensing. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
a really good conversation.
Right.
So
Because he's so famous too, so it's like it's hard to trust the media when you're at Eminem's level of fame, because you just get smeared in the media so hard.
Right.
You never know who really has your back. You know
Right.
what I mean?
it's a bit like, you know, don't ask me anything inappropriate or
Right,
something that's going
right.
to piss me off, because I'll call you out.
Right.
Yeah.
The Fat Boys, you remember the Fat Boys?
Yeah, buddy.
All you can eat.
It's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We should team up. We should do something. Maybe release something together.
That'd be hot.
Do you, let me ask.
So what do you think, though? Do you think he likes him?
No, I think he's.
I think he's making fun of him a little?
Yeah, I don't.
He's assessing the situation.
Jonathan's trying too hard. Like, I don't think he has a good handle on who Eminem is. Like, that's what I'm feeling. Like, he's trying to, I don't know, joke, and like, I mean, I think Eminem's just pacifying him. Like,
Well, I
just
think
going along.
Eminem's like, but he's being real and honest.
Yeah.
I don't think if he didn't like him at all, I don't think he'd divulge anything.
I think he's going along with him.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's going along with.
Yeah, he
with
doesn't
him.
hate him, but he's
Yeah, he's tolerating him.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. That's
I
what
think
I'm
he
feeling.
might like him a little bit more than tolerating, but we'll see.
Yeah, if you're in the shower, a little bit of Frank Sinatra, maybe?
Yeah, a lot of Frank Sinatra.
Yeah? Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You got a good voice?
No, I mean, I sing on my records. I can't really, I'm not a singer.
But it's
so
not
I don't-
singing, is it? It's not like, oh, the summer breeze, you know.
No.
I like how he just remains cool and chill, and you know, he can banter if he wants to. He's got a real kind of dry sarcasm to him, Eminem, but he doesn't get outside of himself. He's not putting it on in any way.
No, I think he's answering the questions, but
Yeah.
he's not taking the conversation and taking control of the conversation.
Yeah.
He's answering. I think he's being polite.
Yeah.
That's what I think he is.
But I think that's a sign of his comfort as well, though. He doesn't feel the need to be outside of himself.
No, or just I'll answer the questions. I don't need to divulge more than that. I mean, I don't know.
But I love his singing, by the way. I love when he does sing in his songs. He's not.
He doesn't think he's a
Technically
singer.
a great singer.
No, he's not going to sing a whole song. But you're right. I think he does have some, beautiful.
Because it's raw.
Yeah.
Do you encounter that attitude early on, people saying he can't do it because he's a white guy and this is essentially black urban music?
I mean, yeah, early on I went through like quite a bit of that. It wasn't easy, you know what I mean? But I kept at it, I got booed off stage. It was, many times.
How long did it take, do you think, before you got good enough to think, okay, this is working now? How many times did you have bad on-stage experiences?
But he's asking some good questions,
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross.
I
Like, I
think
got to
so.
give him some props. Like,
Yeah. I'm
there's-
just happy that Jonathan's like listening and not making a joke after
No.
everything that Eminem says, because that was sort of, when
Yeah.
he started interviewing, I thought, oh, is he one of these like trying to make a joke out of everything? But no, I think he's asking some good, relevant questions now. And he's in it. He's answering the questions, and he's answering them well.
and he's being real.
Yeah. And
And I like how he's just not performative. Yes, he's a performer, he's a rapper,
Yeah.
but he's not performative.
Right.
Like, his gestures aren't big, and he's not, animated in his expressions. He's just chill. He's answering like it feels like he'd answer in his living room with a buddy.
Is this what you expected? Because like when you see him on stage and you see how animated
Sort
and
of.
emotional.
But I
this
like
is what
that about him. I think that
Yeah.
makes him relatable is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, when you can be conversational in your communication approach,
Yes.
I find that very relatable.
I think so too.
Okay.
Maybe a couple.
So
'Cause
not
I'm
that
pretty
many.
awesome.
Okay. Let me tell you about your new single, because you know what I love about your work?
He's intense, man.
He's got a quiet. He's got this like
Yeah.
humor about him that
Yeah.
you don't expect because
Yeah.
he's so quiet and
He
all this
gets
stuff.
sarcasm.
He is
He
really
gets sarcasm.
and that's what makes it so funny. Is
Yeah.
because he's subtle about it.
Yeah, he is. He's almost like there's a mystery to him almost.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's gonna bite at you or if he's gonna joke with you.
Right.
You're
Or give you
not
a,
sure
stra-
where
or
you
give you a
stand
straight
with
answer.
Eminem,
Or give
right?
him a straight answer.
Right.
You have a firm grasp of popular culture. You kind of, I think the word that young people use is diss. You diss some people in the new single.
Some.
Yeah. Now, do you have any feedback? Do you ever meet those people? Do they ever contact you and let you know what they think about it? Or?
Nah, I mean, I've never met these people. You know what I mean? So these aren't like personal attacks on their character or anything like that.
Do you know what song he's talking about?
No, I mean he's known to be like a big diss guy. He disses people quite a bit. Not at this time, but more recently there's a pretty big rapper, Machine Gun Kelly. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, of course.
How?
Well, I've been around, man. But
Okay,
I've heard
maybe
the name.
you heard his name.
I've
Anyway,
heard of
so
his
he
name.
just
I
did
don't
a
know.
diss track on him.
Okay, but what is that? They
not
do this
just.
thing where they sing against each other. These songs.
A rap battle?
Oh my God, those are the
Yeah.
rap battles are the best.
Oh, those are cool.
I love those.
That was in his movie,
Yeah,
8 Mile.
I saw the movie.
Do you like him more after watching this? You see his humor here.
Yeah, I didn't find him for dinner.
I bet he'd like your spaghetti. Yeah, you do make good spaghetti.
Yeah, but
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't have to do a rap battle after.
no. Hopefully, there's not vomit on his sweater
that
after.
was a bad joke.
That
man.
was
that was
horrible.
You doing Jessica Simpson and Sarah Palin, I guess. She's, but you can see why. If you do Sarah Palin, people might think, oh, he wants to make a statement about Sarah Palin or American politics.
I want to nail her, but
There you go. If anyone's gonna, I think you got a good chance.
Nothing gets by him, it feels like.
Who?
Eminem. He's very intense. He's with you. He's very present. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Like, nothing gets by him. He hears every word you say, and he also sees every gesture and every movement and every micro expression in your face. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about this
Yeah.
interview, which I'm liking more and more with Jonathan, is that there's no over talk. So Jonathan asks a question, and Eminem answers it in its entirety. So there's
So
because
Jonathan's coming around on you.
he's growing on me.
Yeah.
It's making sense and it's done well, and it's good to hear what Eminem has to say.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's a nice
You
structure.
do?
to
You
it.
agree?
I just wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my body. I kind of felt like, I mean, it was, you know, like there were times I wanted to just give it up. You know what I mean? There was, I was in a pretty dark place.
To keep in check of this now, you must be working out a lot, I guess, and you got a fitness regime you stick to?
Yeah, I run a lot. I run quite a bit. I get up in the morning. I run. I was running twice a day for a little while.
He's very honest about his dark times and the challenging times that he's gone through. Like you can kind of look at him and see like this guy's been through some shit.
But also I find his interview to be extremely inspirational because he has gone through some dark times, and here he is, reinventing himself or changing his lifestyle or doing better things and better choices, and he's turned his life around. Everyone likes a happy ending.
A happy ending, and
Yeah.
I think more than that, what pumps me up is like a comeback story, seeing someone like hit rock bottom and work their way back based on their own kind of will and belief.
Yeah.
That's inspirational because it's like I can do it. If he
Yeah,
can do it,
of course.
and he was in a really tough time, like I have it within myself to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool for me to hear. So yeah, I think you definitely I'm sure people are very inspired by Eminem.
Half an hour, 10 minutes, what is it?
I was running. There was one point where I was running like it was a little too much. It was a little extreme. And so it was a total of 17 miles.
But you know what that is?
So-
That's you filling the gap you had in your life when you've given up the other stuff, isn't it? It's kind of addictive behavior.
Yeah,
filling
it's
it with
like you
something
kind of
else.
go from one addiction to the next, and I'm an addict. You know what I mean? So I guess it.
He's transparent, right? Like he knows himself. He's like, I'm an addict. This is who I am.
Right.
I think that's part of his success
Right.
too.
And he still refers to himself as an addict because I
Yeah.
think once you're an addict, you're always, and
Man,
it's
that's
like,
that's what they say.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like he's.
I don't agree with that.
You don't?
No, I don't think once you're an addict, you're always an addict. I don't think that's necessarily something that stays with you forever. I
Well,
think
no. It's like if you're an alcoholic and then you're an addict, and then that means that if you drink another beer, like you could fall off the wagon
Yeah,
again. So that's
for
what
sure.
they're saying. You have an addiction to a certain substance.
No, I get that.
Or
I
to a
get that,
lifestyle.
But I think there's something deeper than that. Like there's a reason why you're addicted to something. You're addicted to something to soothe the pain or fill a void.
You don't think that sometimes people just have an addictive personality?
Yeah, maybe. You know what? Yeah, maybe.
I don't
know
think
enough
there's
about
always tied to like a darkness. I think that sometimes that's just how people are wired.
it. Yeah.
You know?
Personality-wise.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
just how they're wired. They're
Yeah,
just
not
wired
necessarily
to-
because they had, that they were, abused or they
yeah.
had a rough childhood. I think that there are a lot of people who are addicts for no particular reason, just
that's
because
a good question.
genetically,
I'd
it could
like
be
to look more
genetic. Well, listen, I worked with someone whose parents were alcoholics, nicest guy in the world, and he was an addict because his parents were. Not because he was dark.
But you can say that his parents were, but because his parents were addicts, they weren't able to show him love, and they neglected him.
That's not true.
No, I'm just saying.
That
They could neglected him in some way, and because of that, and what the environment he was raised in, and watching his parents, he developed these habits, and also felt a void because he was neglected.
Okay.
And
it could just be
addiction.
that.
So that's why I don't necessarily believe.
It could be genetic. Like I really believe.
You can think people can be like perfectly healthy people, and then they get introduced to a video game, let's say, and they just become obsessed with it.
Yes, that's an addiction.
Their personality is just obsessed.
Exactly.
Okay,
right.
That's fair. Yeah, I can subscribe to that.
Right. Or people like the way alcohol tastes.
But a lot of I think there's a mix though. I don't think we can necessarily always put it on personality. I think.
Oh, I don't think so at all. But I don't think we should always.
Yeah.
How about this time we'll do this one?
Yeah.
I don't think it should always be attached to there as an addiction because there's a reason there. I think that's wrong. I think that people also have addictions for no reason.
Fair. Either way, it sounds like the guy knows himself well, and he's honest about who he is, and I think that's a key component. I think that's a key component to success is knowing who you are.
And you know what? At one point, he lost himself. Okay.
Looks rather like my wife has something like that she wears in the shower sometimes. I don't think they've done you any favors, but you do like the headgear, don't you?
Yeah, I do like the headgear.
Yeah, and what's the name of the guys you perform with?
He's
group,
quick.
D12.
D12. Now, here's a photograph. They all look very splendid, but the fella to the bottom right, he appears to be wearing his grandmother's shower cap.
Notice how he doesn't laugh at any of Jonathan's jokes. He'll
He'll chuckle. He'll make a little chuckle, but he's not all full up.
I don't think I've actually seen him actually laugh. You know, he'll play along with them, but he doesn't actually laugh. He's there's a real intensity.
He's intense.
He's an intense guy.
A quiet, intense man.
Yeah.
I guess you can be intense and quiet. Maybe he's just I think he's a really deep thinker. That's what I think part of it is. He's a deep thinker, because he has to be with the stuff that he puts out.
He's like the opposite of like happy-go-lucky, faux positivity. Like, he's just a real fucking dude who
has lived a life.
Yeah.
He's lived life.
Yeah.
Actually, it reminds me of Landon.
Okay. A very obscure reference that not one person will.
Except if Landon's watching.
Or his mom. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Let's continue.
Are you going to come back and do some more tours?
I haven't got that far as like touring. I haven't like got that far to really figure it out yet. I haven't got that part figured out. So I'm kind of in album cycle right now, promoting and things like that. But we'll see how it goes.
I love the way he communicates. I really do. Like I think for me the best thing is he doesn't get outside of himself. Like he's very in control of everything he says.
He knows who he is.
He knows who he is.
Yeah.
And every word means something. There's no fluff.
No, because you know why? He's an authentic person.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Why is that funny?
Because something
you
always say it.
It's true.
But he is. This is the definition. You look up authentic in the dictionary, you see a picture of Eminem.
Okay.
Like this is him.
Yeah.
It's hard to bust a rhyme, and keeping time is tricky. It's tricky, and I can do it.
Wow. Amazing.
Okay. So I think he came around to Jonathan a little.
I think so. I think there was a little bit of nervousness at the beginning because like you know how to respond, and the personalities are so different.
Yeah.
But I think Jonathan started to sort of feel Eminem's responses, and so it was a really good interview.
He's got a good sense of humor, huh?
Who?
Eminem.
He's hilarious.
Really funny.
The quiet, deadly, remarks, that. Some people might just fly over their head, but you really have to be listening to really appreciate his humor.
Yeah, I just love his patience and his timing, right?
Yeah.
He waits when the humor comes to him. He says
right. He doesn't say something that he doesn't like.
Exactly. That's what I'm taking away from this interview.
Right.
He doesn't say anything he doesn't mean. Every word counts.
Right.
So that's Eminem.
Yeah, that was great.
Guys, I hope you loved that video, and if you did, and you want to watch the full uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included a link in my description below. And other than that, if there's anyone else you'd like my mom and I to react to, please do let me know. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.